there! Bear and I are so happy you found us here at Storytime with Miss Becky. Bear has a question for you. Have you ever lost someone you really loved? Well, we'd like to share a special story with you from a girl whose father died. Her name is Rose, and she felt a lot of sadness and loss. Let's hear her story. In his absence, I can still feel his presence. By Jalisa Rose Smith. Hi, my name is Rose. I love God, my family, and friends. It's wonderful to meet each one of you. I'm happy you decided to read my children's book on how to overcome grief. What do we know about grief? It's that sad and painful feeling we have inside when we lose someone we love. I lost my father at age 11, and now that I can finally talk about my father's death without crying, I decided to write a book about what I learned. Let's begin reading. I remember August 17th as if it were yesterday. It was time for me to go back to school to see my favorite friends and teachers. My parents had their differences, so they had decided to get divorced. They had gone their separate ways, but that did not stop them from loving me. That August weekend was my mom's turn to keep me. I know sometimes things may not work out between your parents, but it's important for you to know that they both love you, and you are the light of the world. I felt excited to go back to school. Each day, I looked forward to my chance to wave to my father from the school bus as I rode by his house. My first day of school was awesome, and once I got home, I started helping my mother get dinner ready. Suddenly, some visitors came to our door. My grandparents, aunt, and uncle. I was excited to see them, but wondered, where is my father? Can you imagine how confused I felt when I saw all of my family except the one person who'd always been there for me, my father? I started feeling that bad news was about to come. I want to encourage you that whenever you feel bad news is coming your way, the Bible lets you know to trust God, and He will bring you help. My mother invited our family visitors to come inside, and she told me to go into the living room and finish peeling the last few peas. Minutes later, I heard my mother crying. Before I could ask why my mother was crying, my family told me to come and sit on the sofa. My stepfather took my hands then and told me the horrible news that my father had passed away. "Daddy, Daddy, please come back!" I shouted and started to cry. Can you understand a little how I felt? I lay in my bed that night and suddenly felt a movement I could not describe. I raised my hand and felt another invisible hand give me a high five. Right away, I knew it was the spirit of my father because I had learned about that in church. I took a deep breath and whispered, "In his absence, I will make it through because I can still feel his presence." Amen. I just want to encourage you right now that whoever you have lost, you can still make that person proud. So keep playing sports, singing, dancing, and making the loved one you have lost proud of you because they are cheering for you from heaven. School was something my father always wanted me to finish. So even though I was still hurting because I had lost my father, I still did my work. I did not know what to expect at my father's funeral in church because I'd never been to one, but I did know funerals were really sad. Sitting in the front row at the funeral, seeing my father's body in the casket, I thought a lot about the things he and I had done together that I would remember forever. I want you to remember the good times you and your loved one shared too. Many years later, I completed middle and high school and even went to college to earn my bachelor's degree at Kennesaw State University. I finished school because I knew it would make my father proud of me. I kept saying to myself, in his absence, I made my father proud because I can still feel his presence. Amen. Well, Rose hopes this book helps you stand up and say, I will finish school strong because I can still feel his presence. I will do good things over bad because I can still feel his presence. I will smile and stand tall because I can still feel his presence. Bye for now. Please subscribe.